Hey guys, hope everybody's having a fantastic day. Whether you're watching this in the morning, in the afternoon, or in the evening, I am glad you are here. First thing I want to do is say thank you to the channel members. Thank you, thank you. Secondly, I want to say thank you to anyone who subscribes to the channel and comes and watches the knife and EDC content. Thank you. And finally, I want to say thank you to everyone who comes in and watches my knife and EDC content. I appreciate you. One last thank you is to my buddy A to Z EDC, who let me borrow this knife to check out and share with you guys. You can follow him over on Instagram at A2Z EDC. Good guy, buddy of mine, responsible for a lot of the cool knives that I get to show on the channel. And this is no exception. This is kind of a special release from BladeHQ from a year or two ago. And this is a Jens Anso. Jens or Zens, Danish knife designer. Actually, his first knife design that was turned into a production model by Spyderco. Very unique because it has this choil built into this G10 handle right here that really just cups your hand, gives you a good 3-finger grip. You've got this really nice, aggressive, strong tipped sheepsfoot blade. That's a great cutter. This hand grip puts the knife right parallel to your cutting surface, so it's a great food prepper, a great slicer, a great all-around cutter. It's a liner lock. It is the BladeHQ version is M4 steel, so it's unique steel to me at least. It is an Anso Designs. It is made over in Saki City, Japan. So this is a Japan produced Spyderco, again in CPM M4. It's got a thumb hole that makes it really easy to open this knife with a slow roll, and it's very pleasing because that liner lock just locks in. You can get to the flipper hole here and you can reverse flick it. It is on washers, as most Spydercos are. There's some that aren't. But it has just been a very interesting full-size knife. It's got an interesting Spyderco clip that doesn't go all the way around the lanyard hole, but not deep carry, carries to about right here. And again, very good access to the liner lock because you can go right through this hole here. You've got JG10 that's contoured, not really contoured as much as it's milled down, chamfered around the edges, and it's got a nice milled pattern in the G10, which gives this knife some grip, some texture, so to speak. Just a very unique cutter. Let's see how it cuts with a little bit of pepper, and then we will try it with a little bit of cardboard. Very slicey if I catch the blade. Very, very slicey. Sheepsfoot is just a great cutter, and the angle that this knife puts your hand at is just a really good, nicely designed cutting tool. And this is again the Rock Lobster, not by the B-52s. That's a kind of an age dating me reference, but by Jens Anso and Spyderco. It's a full-size knife. Now this is a big guy. We will look at a couple of size comparisons here in a second, and we'll get a few measurements on it. But it doesn't carry like a big knife. It is not super thick. It's got a thinner profile. Again, liner lock that operates super smoothly. You've got a nice flat spine, nice taper tip on that sheep's foot, and then great access to that liner lock. So whether you're a reverse flicker or a slow roll or thumb flicker, if you like to give it a thumb flick, this one's very easy and intuitive to thumb flick, but it's also very pleasurable to slow roll. So let's look at it next to a couple of knives and see how she sizes up. First, let's look at it next to the cold steel Formax with the Satin grind. Smaller than the 4 Max. And the Civivi Baby Banter. It's going to be a good bit bigger than the Civivi Baby Banter. No surprise there. Look at it next to the Benchmade Bug Out. Spyderco Paramilitary 2. Alright, so it's bigger than the Spyderco Paramilitary 2 and bigger than the Bug Out. Not a lot bigger than the Para 2. And then for those of you who don't really have any of those as a reference, here's a Sharpie. Give you an idea of how much bigger it is than a Sharpie. Let's break out our Javon Amazon tape measure with a sticker on it. And we'll learn that this knife comes in at a clean 8.5 inches with a 3 3/4 inch blade. Just over 3 3/4 inch blade. And a 4 3/4 inch handle. This handle to the choil is going to be 4.5 inches. So 4.5 inches from right here to right back here. Actually, 3 3/4 to right here, 4 1/4 to right there. The cutting area on this guy, 3.5 inches, and this one has a little sharpening choil, which you don't see on a lot of Spydercos, which is kind of unique, kind of interesting. Let's take a look at this blade stock. I have yet to get my tape off of here. I've got it calibrated in. It just makes the edge angle hard. So 1.1175 behind the edge is going to come in at 0.0270 roughly. And it's only 0.41 inches wide or thick. So it's not a very thick knife. It's got a very, like I say, low profile carry. Carries very well, in my opinion. It just does very, very well. Let's get a weight on it. Remember, we had a 3 3/4 inch blade, 3.5 inch cutting area. Comes in right at 4.15 ounces. So right around that 3 3/4 inch, 4.1, that's close enough for me. It is M4, so it is a very hardy blade steel for toughness sake. Pretty good edge retention. Not the best corrosion resistance, but again, with just a little bit of care, that's not a problem. Great knife, great cutter, very, very comfortable, uniquely so. I would not have expected it to be, but this is the Spyderco Rock Lobster, Jens Anso design, made in Saki City, BladeHQ exclusive, and M4. Guys, thanks for watching the video. Do me a favor, if you're so inclined and you hadn't yet, hit that subscribe button. Also, hit that like button, but most importantly, look out for the guy or gal to your left. Please look out for the guy or gal to your right. Please look out for each other. Go forward with love in your hearts and choose debate, not hate. I love you all. Peace.